What is going on, world? Welcome back once again. My name is Zach Novak and this is Zach Novak Plays Games. In today's video, we got the Vanguard Weekly Nightfall strike. This is last week's and this week's Nightfall strike. This is actually going to be two versions, well, first version of two videos. You guys will see the second video. This first one will be family friendly and all that good stuff, and the second one will just be a test. So, roll the intros. I do hope you enjoy, and let's get into this. Alrighty, so getting straight into today's video. Now we have last week's Nightfall strike. Now I will say it definitely was a lot of fun. Now the big shank, whatever we want to call him, saber shank guy, the giant big thing, it is horrible. It is honestly very, very depressing. However, it is honestly a lot of fun if you actually go through it with some pretty good actual people. If you are going through with randoms, it can be one of those things where you get a little bit, you know, kind of ticked off, but it's not too bad. I will say there was quite a few times through this actual strike in itself where I was having a lot of fun, but kept failing. And that, I guess, was my fault because, well, I wanted to have more fun than I wanted to actually complete the strike, which sometimes it can work out in a lot of different senses like that. I will say there is some times where I would rather go through and just muck around with the strike and have fun rather than just completing it as fast as possible. Yes, it is fun to complete it as fast as possible, and it is also fun to get cannons like this because they obliterate enemies. They are honestly a lot of fun, and yeah, if you get a chance to actually run through a strike with these cannons, definitely do it because you'll enjoy yourself quite a bit. I definitely was enjoying this strike. As I did say, the strike in itself was fun. It was a challenge. It was definitely not too different from anything that we've actually experienced in Destiny at all, but there was quite a few different things where I guess me failing or doing things that certainly was not right was very funny, and honestly was something that paid off in the long run for myself and for Unknown Clone. Both of us had like big laughs. Seriously, it was a very, very fun strike. There was quite a few jokes that were made. I do have to say, again, I apologize for not having videos up for I think the last week. It's probably been about the last week. I missed Zor's video because I wasn't actually at home. I went to work on the video the second day, and I don't know, things just weren't really working out for me. Audacity didn't want to actually work for some reason. My microphone wasn't being read. All these different things were happening. So I was just like, you know what? I cannot even be bothered doing this. So I decided that I was just going to take a break. Decided to actually try using my computer the second day after things started going a little bit worse, and I got the blue screen of death. So I was very, very excited about that. Try that actually one more time. And so I really just couldn't be bothered. I decided to take a break. My computer decided that it did not actually want to work for me. It was not rendering videos. It was not doing anything that I was actually asking from it. So I got a little bit upset. I decided I'm going to take a break. I did take a break, and then Zor's day came around. I was like, alright, Zor, have to do this. Ended up coming back from my mom's place the next day, recorded the video, things weren't working out, and yeah, stuff happened. But, as you guys can see, the first actual run that I ended up getting, we got a ghost and a helmet. Any of these actually good? No. I will say they are pretty much crappy. Very, very horrible rolls. Not actually the worst rolls in really any state, but there's a ghost and a helmet that neither one of us really needed. So yeah, the Warlock ended up coming out with something a little bit slightly better. I will say slightly, not a lot. As you can see, I got myself a Pantheon shot. I don't know if you guys have heard of this one. It's actually pretty good. You guys have obviously know what a Pantheon shot is. An Event Horizon, an amazing sniper rifle, Unknown Clone. Ended up using that. I think he dismantled it, which I was very unhappy about because that is a really good sniper. The Pantheon shot has some decent rolls, not the best, not the worst. Could be slightly a lot better. My Huntress came out with something, I can't actually remember what it was. That's something that I cannot... Alright, well, Unknown Clone got himself a 0-day dilemma, and I got an Event Horizon sniper. Well, there you go. Pretty good, not the worst, not the greatest, but yeah. We also, as you guys can see, have the other Nightfall, which is this week's Nightfall. We have pretty much only one thing that is kind of paying us off. That is Brawler. pretty much that is it. Brawler is the only good thing we have for us this week. But I will say that Omnigul actually being the strike this week isn't too difficult. Now there is certain parts of Omnigul that can actually keep you held up, whereas if you're going through it strategically and doing the right things, maybe you won't get held up so much. But doing what me and Unknown Clone did, which was just try to DPS her as much as possible and then get overrun by ads, definitely not a smart thing to do. We ended up failing, I think 3 times, maybe 4 times, but it was a lot of fun. There was many jokes had during this actual Nightfall in itself, and I will say, wow, it was definitely entertaining for so many different situations. Dragon's Breath actually is a very viable weapon in almost every senses of the name and category in itself. It is amazing. I love it. Unknown Clone loves it. It is definitely a viable weapon to use in almost all Nightfall situations, even if you have Specialist as a burn on. I'm pretty sure Dragon's Breath will still even do some good damage. I don't know why I said Specialist. Is Specialist, small arms, anything like that, anything that could decrease the actual heavy weapon damage, then yeah. Also, this spot in the corner here, if you guys can see, this is like a little glitch spot where no one can actually attack you or get you. You can actually res people from that spot if you are in the right actual spot. It is pretty cool. It is very cheesy, but again, it's not really something that a lot of people are going to have to rely on too much, because this strike is fairly easy. If you ran this strike in year 1, you will know that there was a lot of communication riding on pretty much every sense of this strike. However, nowadays it's not really so much of a hassle. It's kind of just drop her shield, DPS, and then keep DPSing with weapons that can do enough DPS. But yeah, that is pretty much it. This Nightfall in itself, very fun. I will say that there was quite a few times, again, where I failed, Unknown Clone failed, but it was cool. We enjoyed ourselves. It was definitely one of those strikes where I will say it was a lot of fun. Quickly, I did want to mention that Telesto has again become one of, if not the most favorite weapons in Destiny for me. I will say that it is a beastly beast in pretty much everything, no matter where you're using this thing. I love it. It is amazing. You can honestly get so many good kills off this. It is hype. It is pretty freaking just crazy cool. But I'm babbling. Do I actually get anything out of this actual loot chest? No, I don't think I do. Pretty sure I just snap at it and leave it going by itself, because hey, who wants to actually waste some of those skeleton keys? They can come in handy in a lot of different places. But let's get on to the first actual loot drops. As you can see, we have my Titan here. Now my Titan came out with something I was not expecting. I ended up getting myself a Nemesis star. An Unknown Clone got a 1 is all bond with some pretty decent rolls. But yeah, a Nemesis star. Pretty hype. I like that. Not actually too bad. I will say the Nemesis star is a very OP weapon. Very underused from a lot of different people, but I will say that it is very much fun in a lot of different strikes, especially with solar burn. It's really fun with solar burn. Anyway, we also have my Huntress. Now my Huntress, I ended up going through and trying out something a little bit different. For half the strike I was my golden gun, the second half I was the shadow shot, and then the final little bit I was a golden gun again. I will say the shadow shot did probably more damage with the actual venomed smoke grenades than the actual throwing knife did with the golden gun singer, which I was just like, that does not make sense. Why is that even something in Destiny? Knives apparently deal less damage than little smoky grenade things. Anyway, getting on to the loot. What we ended up coming out with on my Huntress was something pretty freaking decent. I got myself a crest of Alpha Lupe. I was at lower level, so I was at 394. Unknown Clone got some strange coins. I do regret that I was at a low level, but again, it's not the worst thing that could happen. There could be worse things. Finishing things off though with my Warlock. Now my Warlock got probably the best of the best that I would have to say. I got myself a Continental, which is really honestly nice. I like that thing. Unknown Clone got a Zalo Supercell, which is pretty freaking cool. But Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, there will be another video going up probably the same time as this video, which will be a version 2. Everything that you've heard from the loot drops will actually be the same except for the variant of what it was at the start of this video, which you guys will see. It'll be either a family friendly version or it will be the not family friendly version. You'll know if it is not the family friendly version already, but if it is a family friendly version, you guys will know from this. Anyway, this has been Zach Novak. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, click the like button down below, do all the good stuff, and I'll be cheering like Kieran if he was Ed Sheeran. But until next time, this is Zach Novak, signing off. Peace out.